are there going to be any repercussions? People are saying, he's a big public figure. He's big, charged this big company. Nobody's really talking about it. Are there any repercussions planned from the company or self-imposed repercussions?
Yeah, well, I mean, what should the repercussions be? You tell me. I take 30 days off. How does that hurt me? I mean, I told you guys when we were going through COVID could last 10 years. I could sit it out and, you know what I mean? What would be the problem? It's much like COVID, actually. Me leaving hurts the company, hurts my employees, hurts the fighters. Doesn't hurt me. I could have left in 2016. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do I need to reflect? No, I don't need to reflect. The next morning when I woke up, you know what I mean? I've been against this. I've owned this. I'm telling you that I'm wrong. And but listen, I mean, we've had plenty of discussions internally with Ari, ESPN. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy about this, Neither am I. But it happened. And I have to deal with it. And what is my punishment? Here's my punishment. I got to walk around for however long I live. Is it 10.4 years or is it another 25 years? And I gotta. This is how I'm labeled now. My other punishment is that, I'm sure a lot of people, whether it be media, fighters, friends, acquaintances who had respect for me, might not have respect for me now. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life that are way more of a punishment than what? I take a 30-day, 60-day absence? That's not a punishment to me. The punishment is that I did it, and now I have to deal with it. And more importantly, you guys know how I feel about other people's opinions of me. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I know a lot of you. I don't know what you do when you go home. I don't know what you're into. Nobody knows you better than your kids do, okay? My oldest is almost 22. So for 22 years, he's grown up in a house with me and my wife and the rest of our family. They hear and see everything. They know everything, So whatever perceptions people might have about you, nobody knows better than your kids. And as long as my kids know exactly who I am, they know exactly who their mother is, and that's what's important to us. This is a personal family matter that played out in public, and our biggest focus was our kids. You want to talk about people being disappointed? Who's going to be more disappointed than your kids are? And that's what we've really been focusing on. I mean, as far as her and I go, we both apologized. We apologized to our kids, and
I love what Dana White did right here. I love what he did right here. He basically took the system and basically he threw it back in y'all face. What Dana White is saying is the punishment that you want to see him go through and the reaction that you want people to have about what he did, he's telling you that the system is not designed and set up for him to go through it. It's not for him. This is why Dana White sat up there so cocky and boastful, like basically what? Do something, jump. That's basically what he did. He taunted y'all. He's like, y'all can't do nothing to me because you're forgetting how this system is set up. It's not set up for people to be in outrage about what I did. That's basically what Dana White just did. That's why I like it. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, let me break it down further. The system is set up for you to be in outrage about Bill Cosby and, R. Kelly. But it's not designed for you to say really anything about Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? The headlines is going to read Cosby, R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get it yet? Like, they'll call Michael Jackson a monster with no convictions, right? But the system will have you love, adore, and admire Jeffrey Dahmer. Are you getting it yet? Are you getting it? It's not designed for him to get any kind of punishment. It's not designed for that. They can call these people over here, people who do stuff to kids, you know what I'm saying? or people that like kids that's not of age, you know, they'll highlight those and say, oh, R. Kelly's this and oh, R. Kelly's that. It's designed for you to talk about him, but it's not designed for you to talk about Jerry Lewis. I think that's his name, the Great Balls of Fire dude. It's not designed for you to talk about Elvis Presley. You know, he married an underage and was dating, was messing around with underage girl. It's not designed for you to talk about, since we talk about boxing, it's not designed for you to talk about Jake LaMotta, you know, and his love and obsession for, you know, kids that are underage. It's not designed for you to talk about that. You know, it's designed for you to talk about Floyd Mayweather, Beast's wife. That's what it's designed for you to have outrage, and that's what's designed for your headlines, and that's what's designed for your ridicule. But it's not designed for you to talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's not designed for you to talk about Oscar De La Hoya. It's not designed for you to talk about Sergey Kovalev. We just went through this with Gervonta Tank Davis. We just went through it. You don't see the pattern yet? And he's just letting you know. He just turned it right back on you guys. So the same system y'all set up to protect me is the same one that y'all want to see do something to me. And it's not designed that way. This is why I can sit up here and talk to y'all like I'm talking to y'all and do it with a cocky, arrogant, you know, flow about me. That's why I can sit up here and do this. You know? Now, had I looked like something else, all of y'all have had something to say. Then some action to be put into play. You know? There was more people upset about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee than this man hitting his wife. Be honest. Be honest. There was more Americans upset with football players taking a knee than watching their Capitol get stormed. And watching the American flag being defecated on and people getting trampled. You know what I'm saying? Somehow taking a knee was disrespectful to the United States, but storming the Capitol wasn't. This is the whole hypocrisy of the whole system that people neglect to acknowledge actually exists, but we all know, but we don't want to say anything. We hide behind that shh, you know, kind of thing. But this is what Dana White is exposing to you. It's not set up for y'all to do nothing to me. It's not set up for me to get ridiculed like you would do Cosby, R. Kelly, or Michael Jackson, or Gervonta Tank Davis. That's why, you know, you guys are not getting the reaction that you think that you're supposed to have. We've been operating like this the whole time. Now all of a sudden you want it to magically work for me? No. Let me tell you my punishment. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what my punishment is. Not you guys punish me. Let me tell you. It's this, that, and the third. And does it sound like he really cared? No, he didn't care. Because he understands his position. He understands his position with that company. He understands his position with ESPN. And most of all, Dana White understands that he is a Caucasian man. For the same reason he tried to push Sage Northcutt and Paige Van Zam as the huge big stars of UFC, even though their talent didn't really suffice what he was trying to do with them promotional wise. That's because they fit the blueprint. Blonde hair, blue eyes. You may not like it. This is how the world works. Whether you like it or not, whether you like hearing about it or not, this is called reality. And all he did was throw it back in their face and say, don't expect this system that's supposed to work in my favor. Don't expect it to work against me now. That's why he sat up there and was so cocky. And you know what? I was somewhat entertained by it, because the only thing he did was expose the system, and all he did was hold the mirror up. You know? That's all he did, is hold the mirror up. For the same reasons, some kids that look a certain way seem to can't make it walking down the block to their house without getting gunned down by law enforcement, versus some kid that can walk into a school and let loose a Uzi but still manage to make it in handcuffs. And not only that, they'll also make it to a restaurant to get something to eat before they even take it to jail. This is the system. And that's basically what he put on blast. So that's why this was so interesting to me. Like, comment, subscribe, I'm out.